So welcome to the Youth Time Special Edition with me, your host, Vanes Zeke Addo. If you are watching this program for the very first time, this is the program that connects the youth with diplomats, tailored to obtain information about every opportunity available to them and the provision of the requisite blueprints for growth and development. Today is indeed a special day because we sit with Her Excellency, Ambassador Maria Elisa de Luna. She is the Brazilian ambassador to Ghana. And on the show today, we will shed light on the rich bilateral relations that exist between these powerful countries, Brazil and Ghana. We'll also talk about sports, tourism, and most importantly, higher educational opportunities available to Ghanaian youth by the Brazilian government. Yes, you are at the right place. This is the Youth Time Show on Grace Live TV. Don't go anywhere. The show commences shortly. Welcome back. As I promised, this is the show that provides the requisite blueprint for growth and development for the youth of our generation. You are mostly our very cherished viewer as we are here with Her Excellency Ambassador Maria Elisa de Luna today to shed light on her life and everything we need to know about everything I mentioned earlier. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to my embassy also.
Aquaba.
Yes.
Olá, tudo bem?
Tudo bem.
Right. I told them I was going to speak a little Portuguese and
Yes.
right. So we've heard so much about you for the past almost approximately 4 years of your stay being here. If you should do a summary about who Her Excellency Ambassador Maria Elisa de Luna is to the youth, who is she?
Well, I am a mother of 3 grown children. I am the grandmother of a beautiful little boy.
Right.
I like to write. I like to read. I like movies. I like music. I like classical music, gospel, whatever. And I'm a very happy person, very happy with my life, very happy to be in Ghana now.
So if you could, probe on your 4-year stay being here, how would you describe it?
Well, they were very rich, I must say, especially because I'm having the opportunity of meeting such a lot of people, Ghanaians and not Ghanaians also, who add always something more to my way of living and to my vision of life.
Right.
This is the best thing in the career, is that you meet people that expand your vision of life.
Right.
So it was like that in Ghana. First, it was a surprise for me when I arrived in Accra, because I've been to Accra from 2004 or 5 till 2006, 7. I've been 3 or 4 times to Accra.
Okay.
Because in Brazil, I was heading in that period. I was the head of the division for Western Africa in my ministry.
Okay.
So I've got to travel to 23 African countries, including Ghana, etc. So in this period, I came to Ghana for professional reasons, 3 or 4 times, I think. And then I went back to Brazil. I went to Brussels. From Brussels, I said to my ministry, I don't want to stay here. Please send me to Africa.
Wow.
And then I was ambassador in Senegal. And then I was consul general in Montreal. And then I said, I cannot send me back to Africa. Yes. I want to be ambassador in Nigeria or in Ghana.
Wow.
But Nigeria, my colleague who was there, didn't want, just was happy there.
Okay.
So One day I was, but I wanted Ghana.
In your heart.
My heart. But we have always to leave an option to the administration, isn't it? So I was traveling in Canada. I was in Quebec City with my cousins, and they were visiting me, and the telephone calls, and it was our Secretary General asking me if I wanted to be ambassador in Ghana. I said, well, yeah, yesterday.
The excitement.
So I came a few months later, and Accra was a total surprise for me.
Wow.
Because I remembered a very quiet, lively, but quiet city, and very. There was no poverty in the streets, nothing. Yeah. It was very quiet. I stayed in this very house because it was rented at the time for the ambassador. And I said, is this Accra with all those buildings? And what is it? I've never been to that place. What is it? Is it Accra? And little by little, I started recognizing the places here.
Right.
And when I used to come in that time, in the past, there weren't malls and not such a lot of supermarkets and things like that.
That was before your arrival.
Yes, but when I came back to live here this in 2017. I said, how come? This is an entirely new city with all those buildings and all those bustling and the traffic, horrible and everything. But anyway, always interesting, as it was before. Upon my arrival here, in the first year, we were able to continue the work of my predecessor, even though there was a completely new government, because President Akufo-Addo had been elected took possession in January, and I arrived here in September 2017. But anyway, we could pursue our work, the things that were here already. 2018 also we could do this or that, other things. We could add some other aspects to our cooperation, to our work. 2019, I was very happy to bring here a huge dance. 2019, His Majesty, the Asante King, was in Brazil, Otumfu. And in the beginning of the year, I think, maybe. And then, or 18, yes. And then in 2019, we were able to bring here the folklorical group, one of the most important of Brazil and Bahia, to make a special presentation to the king.
Wow.
And in November. They were also here in November. They did something here at Kempinski Hotel. So things were, but by the end of 2019, things started. Our enemy,
COVID-19,
showed his face to the world. And 2020 was a disaster in the sense that we already have difficult aerial liaisons to Brazil from Ghana, and they started to be even worse. And then TAP, who is the best connection for us from Lisbon to Brasilia.
They assisted in taking people.
They suspended, and they were having financial problems. They were almost at bankruptcy, and so things started to slow down. We managed to do this and that, but always small
It was
things.
difficult.
And 2021 was not so auspicious in the beginning, especially because in Brazil we have a very serious situation with COVID. Very, very serious, almost 600,000 deaths, and lots of infected people. All the ministries and things like that are reducing their working hours and passing to remote work. And not always remote work can replace presence work.
Right.
And things went even slower. Many Brazilian companies were affected, seriously affected by that, and with consequences even to our cooperation and agriculture and everything. So it has been a sad year.
Yeah, but looking at the period of COVID, the management by the Ghanaian authorities,
wonderful.
Have we done
wonderful,
well?
wonderful, very, very commendable. I tell everybody, when a leader goes to the TV almost every Sunday, addresses their fellow compatriots, and say the truth about the thing and how we can fight the thing, this is invaluable, invaluable.
Thank you so much.
I think we never had a lockdown how you had here, which I think we should have had. You had this lockdown. I understand it was very difficult for the population, especially for the market people. It was very difficult, but it really placed a kind of initial barrier to the penetration of the virus, to the expansion of the virus. And it has been helping you till now. And also your policies on coming and going from Ghana were excellent. And then when you could reach vaccines, many people was vaccinated, and the president was very, he tried to be very convincing to the people you should vaccinate. And I hope that finally all those concerns about the vaccination have disappeared.
Totally.
Yes. And you should all get your jab. I wish I could get a third jab.
Right. If that was possible. So let's delve into the bilateral relations that exist between Ghana and Brazil. It dates back to the years.
60 years.
60 solid years. And,
yes. 60 solid years with, as I said once in a speech, relations of Brazil with Africa in general and with Ghana are like the sea, You have the, how do we call it?
The waves or the tides?
The tides. You have the tides. It's a kind of tidal pattern. Sometimes when the two regions are flourishing, it can be something wonderful. Wonderful in terms of, in concrete terms, of exchange and everything. When one of the parties is not so flourishing, the other one always tries to help. When the two parties are down, as was in COVID, it's difficult, but we are there facing each other. We have only the Atlantic between us. It's our sea, And we are in Brazil very proudly, at least for me, because I have also African blood. We proudly have 54% of our population coming from Africa. African descent. And in recent times, a lot of people went to Olympics and stayed there.
Yeah. The no return. Yeah, because it's a beautiful place to be.
No, not only. It's a good place. I understand
Very
it's a
safe
good
too.
place. It could be better. I would correct a lot of things in my own country.
Okay.
But anyway, I think it's very difficult. It's very similar to Africa, to Western Africa.
Right.
Especially from Senegal is different because it's has some Maghreb and
The region.
yes, North Africa influences, but also, but from the Guineas, Bissau and Conakry, till I don't know where, all the coast.
The coastal
The
countries.
thing, yes, the coastal countries. The way of life, the way of thinking, even the imaginarium of the people and Brazilians are very similar.
Right.
So when you say Brazil and Africa are the same, no, they are not the same today because you are not the same as Cameroon, you are not the same as South Africa, you are not the same as Senegal or Chad. But there is this subtle, this subtle similarity.
Right.
It's even difficult for a foreigner to perceive. We feel it, we really feel it. I feel it. Any Brazilian feel it. And I know all the Ghanaians that go to Brazil can feel it. And so we always had in those 60 years a very good diplomatic relations.
Right.
We support each other in all international forums. We had moments of very huge and serious cooperation.
Right.
Now the thing is a bit, and there is not much that me alone as ambassador can do because nor officials in Brazil, nor officials in Ghana. This is something due to circumstances that surpass us. But anyway, everything passes.
Right. So all these, let me just come in here. So
Yes.
all these successes have been achieved between this 60 years. So looking at the next
Yes.
60 years for us, where would we be with our bilateral relations?
We will be in an excellent place because Ghana is developing very fastly. Brazil is starting to overcome certain political and economic difficulties.
Crisis, right.
You also are struggling hard against it. So there is no way that we cannot be in excellent relations.
Right.
On the contrary. In spite of governments and everything. Because even when the governments are not so favorable to this, to increase the movement, the tide between our countries, we manage to stay afloat. Both our boats stay afloat together.
Right.
And we have a lot of cooperation, or we're starting a good cooperation in terms of defense and in the Atlantic Ocean, which I think it's fundamental for us. Brazil recently started to integrate the group of friends of the Gulf of Guinea, and we are trying to cooperate in this and to think together. Brazil has started to finally think very seriously about the importance, the economic and importance of the South Atlantic for us.
Right.
And we have to take hold of it. When I say this, I'm a bit afraid because it seems that I am a kind of revolutionary.
No.
No, I am not. But I think our governments here and there should be very keen of thinking this space as ours.
Okay.
And it's a very important economic space. It was the stage of such a lot of things in from the how do you say, the 16th till the 19th centuries. So in terms of direct commerce, we had direct commerce with Africa. This is what other people didn't like very much. It was not only tributary of the slave trade. No, we have direct talks and direct commerce, you know. So we have to think about the historical economy, of the historical importance of the economic possibilities, of the possibilities, no, of the South Atlantic, and get hold of it. Think of it in terms, strategic terms, you know. I think we are a bit, maybe sometimes we forget the strategical importance of this in all terms, international politics, international economy, diplomacy, and everything. We have to think of the South, in my opinion. Maybe I'm a little out of tune, but I'm a dreamer, and I want to continue to be a dreamer.
Right.
I think dreams are very
important.
No, underrated nowadays.
Right. Currently, but wasn't so.
No, wasn't so. But in our days, currently, dreams are very underrated.
Okay.
So we should think, especially big dreams. And this is an introitus, what I want to say. I think that we should really think South Atlantic as a continuation of our territory.
Okay.
Especially with all the new technologies and possibilities. We can dominate this ocean and consider it an extension of our territories.
Okay. So most of the coastal areas in your country have also been turned to tourist attraction, which also brings a lot of economic advantages to your country.
Yes.
So looking at the tourism in Brazil side by side with Ghana, are we still are boats afloat on the paths of tourism?
I think you should invest, frankly, very heavily in roads.
In roads, okay. Leading
to tourist attractions.
Okay, but where have you been? What tourist attraction sites have you been in Ghana?
All Cape Coast attractions. Okay. And all the coastal things, beaches and everything. And also to this Akosombo region and in all the regions, a bit of all the regions. When I was director of the Western Division, I used to go to Burkina. I went there some 2 or 3 times. And I used to travel from Ghana to Burkina by car.
Oh, wow.
By land. It was wonderful, and I wanted to revive it. But now it's not possible anymore. It became dangerous. All of this will be solved with time. But so I've to say that I've traveled not as much as I wanted, but I've quite traveled around Ghana. And I think that the most important tourist attraction you have is in the field of history. So all the line with the old forts and castles, because they are a lively proof of this movement that was so important and that changed the world, which was the slave trade.
Right.
It was abhorrent, evidently abhorrent, something abominable. But anyway, it changed
Humanity.
humanity.
So we need to bring a proof of that. So I
Yes.
think
Yes. It's not that because in less than 100 years, people say, no, there was not slave trade, there was not trade before, there wasn't trade before Africa and the rest of the world. No. All things can happen.
Right.
You as journalists know that reality is, let's say, fakeable. You can change reality very easily. If you print something, it becomes reality. So, and those monuments are very, very impressive.
So I think one thing that we should do is to bring all those forts back to life.
Back to life, we're doing I don't know what concerts and I don't know. Back to life and taking care of the populations around it, like in Elmina. Taking care of all those people, those
that live close to the forts.
That live close to the forts. And especially good roads from here. And two other places to Axim and I don't know, beaches all around the coast.
I think that would really help. So
I think so.
Right.
Roads and what else? Roads and infrastructure like hotels. But hotels with trained people, not necessarily the most expensive. You can have a range of prices, but with people well trained and good food,
Right. So probing into another field, which is also important in your country, I think we need to talk about sports here. What's your favorite sporting club back in Brazil?
Botafogo.
Okay. For me, I'm not a football fan. Right.
But you know Flamengo.
I know Flamengo.
Yes, everybody knows Flamengo.
And I know a lot
Our great rival.
Who's your favorite Brazilian footballer of all time?
Well, I must say that I think that Neymar, he plays very, very well.
He's a newbie. Who, before Neymar?
Garrincha.
Okay.
Garrincha, someone that was in the World Cup of the 50s and maybe beginning. We had, but Garrincha was special because he had no technical, training. Football was a different thing by that time. So he had no training, but he was so inventive. He created spaces. He created ways of launching the balls. So
that was great. For me, I would say Pelé.
Pelé was wonderful also. But Garrincha and Pelé were more or less at the same
professional level.
No, not professional. Yes, professional level. But the same time they were at the same time on the stage. But the problem is Garrincha was a very intuitive person, and as someone who creates, he was a bit. So he drank a lot. Pelé was always been coached well, and he very pragmatic, and a genius also.
Okay. So in order to achieve the kind of success for our youth and everybody watching in the field of sports, what do you think we should do?
Train. I'm not an expert in sports.
Is that a good venture because it is a lucrative economic gain for your country as well?
Not for my country in general, not for the people, but for the people linked to this, it's a very good thing.
Okay. So as youth, going to sports is a good thing?
For them individually, yes. Yes, it's a good thing. They're going to have big salaries and I think that Ghanaians have a very natural, body and more muscles and everything fit to sports. Box and what else? Football and swimming.
Right.
Why not swimming? You could have very good swimmers here. But people tell me that you're afraid of the sea.
Yeah, a
That
few
you don't
people.
swim.
No, I don't swim.
Me too, but
Yeah, we could train more people though. So,
train.
right.
And not basketball and volleyball are sports that require height, no? And you are not, as people, you are
Yeah.
not the
Very,
highest.
the height type.
Yes.
So, right.
But you have force. All sports that require force. Canoeing and beautiful. Canoeing is beautiful.
Very.
Swimming and
The,
you name it.
the
Box.
boxing as well.
Yes.
Right. So that is with sports. Now coming back to businesses, we know when the COVID started, it really affected businesses around the globe, and so many local industries were so hit by this. And how do we bounce back after all this has been caused by the COVID? And is there any means of assistance from the embassy to local businesses?
This is something we were intending to do before COVID. We were elaborating a program about, but we couldn't do because we cannot contribute with the liquid funds. You know, it's our constitution doesn't allow Brazil to be a liquid donor. But we were thinking of making, small to medium business people coming to Ghana and talk to Ghanaian in the same, and to share. Because we are not such potent thing, no? You have to be humble. To share the experience, the mutual experiences and everything.
Right.
It's not possible virtually.
Right.
It's, even if we tried, you cannot have the feeling of it.
Okay.
It's not possible. You can write, but it's not possible.
Right.
You have to organize meetings between people.
Okay. We'd like to find out about the provision of the learning opportunities in your language, as we spoke about earlier.
Yes. We are having, for the moment, we are having a group. This is possible by remote.
Okay.
We are having a language course.
Okay. Which would be very important for the youth. So we will give them the details. Okay.
More important than language. Brazil offers scholarships, which is not, do not translate into money, but vacancy in universities in Brazilian universities. This is a program that has more than 30 years, and it's working very well.
Okay.
Every year we have more Ghanaians going to Brazil and studying there and getting their grades there.
Okay.
They are entitled to have a period of learning of Brazilian language. Portuguese, before entering
into school.
Yes.
Okay. So how do we access that?
You have to go to the embassy.
Okay.
And ask for it. But in general, there are informations on our Facebook page, Brazilian Embassy Ghana, and in our Instagram page, all over we have this information. And apart from that, you are always welcome to go to the embassy and to ask to see the person who is responsible for this program.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. So we want to talk about opportunities for young ladies because right now, some time back in Africa, women were not really granted higher opportunities and all, but we are moving towards another millennium where this is now the order of the day, where women are given more opportunities. How do you see this? And is Ghana making a good progress?
Yes, I think so. I think so. Ghana is. I'm trying. This is something I'm trying to obtain from some people at the embassy. Statistics, new statistics about the presence of women here in Ghana in politics, and economics, and everything.
Wow.
But I see. But women here, they are natural business women. You go to markets and you see women selling and trading always. So maybe they would, I don't know, maybe they would need some training
Okay.
how to be a business person really, and to put value to what they sell or to what they did. You see the same stresses.
Right.
For instance, this
You
is
got to be Ghanaian.
a Ghanaian,
Wow.
did
Very
by a
beautiful.
Ghanaian. So I think maybe they should have a special structure to guide them whenever they need. I don't even know if they really need. What I see is that the platforms, the internet platforms, are helping them a lot. And apart that, I think in Accra, women are relatively more free to look. I ask myself if it is the same in remote areas
Oh.
of Ghana. I don't know. I think women are still in Brazil. They have some pockets of old system, and I think women are still subjected to some things like some prejudices and some notion of you have to be to submit, some notions of submission to husbands and things like that, submission to marriage. You have to tell women that marriage is not necessarily a good thing. On the contrary, in general, is a very bad thing. If you are not in the same length of wave of your partner, it can be a horrible thing to do, to be married. I've read a book from a Ghanaian writer recently. Her name is, it's a young lady, but the title of the book is His Only Wife.
Okay.
And it's a novel, and it's exactly about that.
Okay.
So women has to listen. People have to address women, and say to them, look, speak till this enters. But I would say Ghana is not such a back. How do you say backward or back? I don't know. It's not so backwards.
Okay.
In in this aspect of women insertion in the society, and especially not in Accra.
Okay.
You see the Congress here full of deputies and like this. And what I don't know, because I don't see, is if they are able to do their work with some tranquility, or if they come back from work and they have to prepare
Meals.
and things and this. But this is something so particular to each society. Who am I to talk about that?
I think in future we'll move towards that. Thank you so much for having us. And before we sign off, this is your camera. I want you to offer a word of advice to the Ghanaian youth, anyone watching you who is intrigued about your story, as you said in the beginning, or your successes. They also want to emulate you and be like you one day, also be in the seat and be called Her Excellency or His Excellency. What would you tell them?
Well, before becoming Her Excellency, as you said,
Right.
I was a normal student in Brazil. I studied law, and I had my own practice studio of law. And then I decided to be a diplomat. That is a very difficult examination in Brazil. I passed it, thanks God, and I've been in the career for 41 years now.
Wow.
I think that don't be afraid. For in the case of women, especially, don't be afraid. Never be afraid of anyone. Never think if is or this or that. No, you just do your thing. You want to do something, you try to do. And nobody's going to kill you, not in Ghana at least, for your option. Never. And for youth in general, I think you're very brave. When I see youth around the world getting into drugs and horrible, criminality and everything, I think Ghanaian youth is centered, and they're trying to do the best for their future. And I'm very happy to see you and to see you doing this. And very happy to be in Ghana. I'll miss Ghana.
Thank you so much for coming. And viewers, well, this is what time permits us. And we have been sitting with Her Excellency Ambassador Maria Elisa de Luna, the Brazilian ambassador to Ghana. And everything she spoke about, yes, we are brave people as youth and we are going on to be great. Until then, the show comes your way some other time. Do take care. Bye-bye.